Good evening. Welcome to the Concord Township Board of Trustees meeting for September 17th, 2025. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have some special guests with us this evening.
I have to do roll call first, then you can.
Oh,
Well, no, that's not how it is on the agenda.
that's true. But we will do roll call
Oh,
first.
shit,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry,
Mr.
but-
Patriarch,
No
roll call,
problem.
please.
I apologize.
Mr. McIntosh. Present.
Mr. Dondorfer.
Present.
Mrs. Lucci.
Present. Now we will
Yes, thank you.
talk about
Sorry.
our distinguished guest this evening. So, Mr. Rose, would you please read the proclamation?
I would be honored to. This is a proclamation to honor the accomplishments of Jeannie Rice. Whereas Concord Township resident Jeannie Rice recently completed the Sydney Marathon and won her age group in impressive fashion. And whereas the winning of the Sydney Marathon completes a series of winning all 7 World Marathon majors. And whereas Jeannie's winning time in the Sydney Marathon was over 1 hour and 21 minutes faster than the next place finisher, along with outpacing all of the men in her age bracket by more than 22 minutes. And whereas anyone who has participated in a running sport understands the hard work and dedication that accompanies this achievement. We, the leaders of this community, acknowledge the dedication of Jeannie Rice, which led to her success, and therefore we offer a hearty congratulations on a job well done. You should be very proud of your accomplishment. Signed, the Concord Township Board of Trustees. Well done.
I just want to say when I saw that and I read it, I was completely blown away. First, you beat the men, right? You beat like everybody else, and we know that you've been doing this for so long, and I felt sort of like, gosh, we haven't, like, it's about time that we recognize this superhuman person we have in Concord
Living in
Township.
Concord, yeah.
So congratulations, well deserved, and we can't wait to hear about more. I just wonder, like, which race was your favorite win, and what was the reason?
I've been running 42 years, so I have a lot of favorites.
Okay.
And actually, country-wise, New Zealand Marathon was the, one of them. Because the year of 2000, millennium year, their marathon usually end of January. But that year, only 1 year, they had January 1st. So January 1st, 2000.
Wow.
While people were having a party, I was running.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
Just
that was
amazing.
something.
Yeah,
The
congratulations.
country itself is just beautiful.
Beautiful.
And I do go all over the country. That's part of my, and I'm retired now, so, I like to travel, so we go all over the place. You just name it, I've done it.
Awesome. Anything
Awesome.
else to add?
Congratulations. Just a wonderful accomplishment. And I know we followed you for years and we've run together, and it's just it's an amazing accomplishment, and it's an honor to have you here living in Concord and still doing it.
And another thing about where I live is Concord Township. And I feel they're blessed. We have a beautiful bike trail here.
Mm-hmm.
I ran this morning there as well, and I can run 20 miles just in Concord.
Yeah.
So we are very lucky.
Yeah.
We live in a nice little community.
Great.
I love it.
Excellent.
Thank you. Congratulations. It's blown away reading that article. I've done distance sports myself, but I don't even want to mention compared to what you do. So I have an appreciation for the,
5K doesn't count.
yeah. I usually pedal a bike, but,
That's true.
but to just just what little I've ever done, I'm blown away, and I can I have an appreciation for the dedication and the time that you put into it to accomplish what you have at a world level. And you live right here in Concord.
Yeah.
Thank you for your kind words about the community. We all love it very much. And we're happy to have you here and very thrilled for your accomplishment. So thank you.
Thank you.
We'd like to get a picture if you don't mind.
There we go. Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's like 100-mile bike ride.
Oh, yeah,
You're
you're
all set.
done. You don't have to, you don't have to listen to the government work.
You don't want to listen to the regular business. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's anything
Yep.
you need, just holler. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What an honor.
Amazing.
This is wonderful.
Good.
That was fun.
77. I know.
Amazing.
It's incredible,
And
right?
running like an 8-minute mile.
For
Yeah,
30 miles.
Yeah.
Right.
For 26 and a half miles.
It's like superhuman.
It really is. It's amazing.
I know.
That's somebody with a.
That's
And her VO2 max is,
No,
she has
no.
a VO2 max of a
I can't tell
25-year-old,
you. That's amazing.
right?
Okay.
Okay, moving on to the approval of minutes.
Madam Chair, I will make a recommendation to approve the September 3rd, 2025 regular trustees meeting minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, elected officials reports. Mr. John Patriarca, we'll start with you.
All right, excellent. Well, that's it's a tough act to follow there. That's you try and like digest that, and that's the first time I've met Mrs. Rice, but that's incredible. That the level of dominance is kind of somewhat unfathomable as an avid sports fan. You try and draw parallels, but difficult to do. So that's quite the honor and fantastic that it's a Concord resident. Fiscal officer reports start off this evening by acknowledging we did kick off the comprehensive plan last night with the community open house, which I thought was a great turnout. Hands full of residents giving their input, trying to be active, and I think that's always really good to have that input from the residents, what they want, what they're looking for. So as our zoning department, I know Mr. McIntosh is going to be involved heavily as we work through that comprehensive plan. It's good to have the residents of Concord have their input heard, and so I thought that was a great turnout last night at the community open house. I also do want to acknowledge and thank Mr. Rose for putting on 4 separate sessions of understanding implications of abolishing property taxes. That class is available on Concord Township's YouTube page. So if you weren't in attendance physically, you can certainly rewatch the replay of that on the YouTube page, which I think is very important. So just kind of elaborate on that issue really quick. I think it's worth a few minutes of discussion, certainly from the fiscal office perspective. So it's a hot topic. I know, I understand. There's people from one end of the spectrum to the other. People that think that the policy we currently have in place in regards to property tax is great. It fuels the communities just as we need. And at the other end of the spectrum, we have people that say, hey, we don't want property tax. It's out of hand. We need to abolish it. And pretty much everything in between. I think the middle ground is something to the effect of assisting our senior citizens, potentially expanding the current homestead exemption. But I think the important thing for our residents to understand is that at the township level, the things that Mr. Rose is doing, the debates and the discussions that the board is having is really us doing our due diligence and trying to help our community the best we can. Because at the end of the day, we don't have a direct say into what this policy ends up being. All we can do is prepare ourselves, get ready for what we think may come, and just position the township to be flexible and be able to adapt to whatever any potential changes may come. And so I know that because it's such a hot topic, there's been potentially some unfair criticism for Mr. Rose from the board that potentially using fear tactics to sway residents one direction or another. But the reality is, without understanding the current landscape of the revenue that's generated through property tax, it's impossible to understand what the big picture looks like without that. Mm-hmm. And removing tens of billions of dollars of revenue is material. It's impactful. So I don't think it's fair to categorize that as a fear tactic. It's just, hey, if we removed that revenue, here's what it looks like. So then the next question becomes, okay, well, how do we replace that revenue? And what does that revenue stream look like? Is it from the state? Is it from the county? Is it directly to the township? And the reality is, at our level and the leadership in this room, our job and really what we should be focusing on is keeping a pulse on what that potential change could be, how that affects our residents, and how we could best position our community to adapt if and when that change comes. And so I think that it's good that people are having discussions, they have feelings one way or the other, but just keep in mind that, you know, what we're doing as a collective team is in the best interest of our community and our residents. And so I think we'll continue to do that, but I did think it was worth mentioning and really just explaining that there's no fear tactic involved. It's just, these are the facts. Right. If the revenue goes away, how is it being replaced? And if it's not replaced, what services are now limited in terms of, you know, what they can provide? Safety services, schools, roads, things of this nature that, you know, we've kind of just been accustomed to, hey, that'll be taken care of. Well, if tens of billions of dollars of revenue is gone, how is it taken care of? So they're fair questions, and, you know, I appreciate Mr. Rose taking the time to try and explain, you know, the current situation and what it looks like if that situation changes. So I did want to thank Mr. Rose for his efforts.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and those are the two main points this evening. I'll keep it brief, but if residents have questions regarding property tax or anything else regards to Concord Township finances, they can reach me directly at 440-354-7516. And that concludes my report.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John. Very nicely stated. Appreciate your support of the class. I know Andy has been wonderful. Education is key. All right, moving on, Mr. McIntosh.
Thank you, Madam Chair. John, thanks for the elaborating, and Andy, hats off to you for not only your property tax implications communication, but your dedication to that subject matter over the last couple of years. It's a complicated subject. You have a masterful understanding of it, and if people have questions or don't know, they should reach out. Really watch the videos. Dialogue with Andy. He's a wealth of knowledge, teaches me things. John said it right. There's $22 billion worth of tax revenue generated in the state of Ohio that goes to school districts, parks, local entities, cities, townships, villages, yada, yada. Doesn't go to the state. It comes to local government, pays for police, fire, roads, school, parks, all those things. Eliminating it means eliminating that funding. And we went round and round with residents about this, and you got to do more with less conversation. But when your safety budget doesn't grow for 9 years, but your costs do, there is no less. There's something gone. Mm-hmm. It's fewer deputies or no deputies. It's a reduction in staff at the fire department. And people will look at our budget and say, well, cut a little bit of this, cut a little bit of that. The biggest cost is people. That's 80% of our budget. Even when you factor in the capital stuff, you average those costs out over 5 years. Well, fine, we don't buy, but how long? Yesterday at the open house, I got a chance to look at our new reserved UN engine, which we bought pre-owned. Right. It's got years of service on it, and it shows. It's not new. It is a stopgap measure. So that is us doing more with less. It'll last maybe 5 years, and then we'll be back, right? So this stuff's expensive, and this is what our tax dollars go for. So last week, I represented Concord Township at the JED meeting, and some good news there. There's not a lot of economic development activity going on. That was really just kind of a general meeting, but the revenue report is something that's interesting. The JED is at $1.4 million this year, which is a 40% increase over this time last year, or 1.4 or about $1 million. The JED's collected 110,000, Paynesville's at 317, and Concord's at 952,000. So we're projecting that our share will get over that 7 figures. So I think when you take a look at what Mr. Patriarca said about governments needing to do, it's a tax, and consumers in the economy are paying that, but it was a thing that was thoughtful. When a hospital came, our predecessor said, hey, we're going to have landed expense due to this, and we don't have revenue streams for it. And this was an option they put in place. They had some forethought put together, and we've continue to use it as a tool of economic development, and it brings revenue into the township. And it helps us with projects and one-time expenses, and it saves a bit of burden for the taxpayers. It helps alleviate pressure on property taxes. So just because the question is, I think, hangs out there, I did ask, and we are trying to delve into doing some research as to what's driving that. That was my first question. Why is it up so much? So we're looking into that. There's been some new businesses there. SGC was the one there. They've now been there for solid years, so we think that's a big part of it. And there's some new exciting things coming. So I think more businesses coming to that district that are volunteering to join the JED and pay the tax to better Concord. So, those are big wins for us. And had a great time at our Concord Plan open house last night. I love using the fire station for these events. It's a nice venue. It works out really well. It's just always a thrill to do that. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, and thank you for your work on the JED. Awesome. Mr. Dondorfer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I thought we had a great showing at the Comprehensive Plan open house last night. It was great to see so many residents come out and take an active role in the community. It was great to talk with residents that we either knew or met there yesterday and get some insight on what they like currently about Concord Township and what they'd like to see in the future for our community. And it sort of just opens the gates as far as what we're going to be looking at for the future of Concord. I thought it was very productive, and I had some great dialogue with some of the residents, met some new residents, and it was great. And it was, again, nice to have it in Station 1. I mean, you go there, and it's an amazing, building. I just talked to a new firefighter that started in Menor, and he happened to be able to come over and tour the Fire Station 1, and I know they're doing a project over by Great Lakes Mall for Fire Station 2 in Menor that's going to move over from the park over to near the next to the Great Lakes Mall, and he was thoroughly impressed, with Fire Station 1 and just the quality of the building and the quality of the place that they have there. So it's great to have that
First
there.
one of its kind in the entire county.
Yeah,
Sure, on the map.
amazing. We met with a Concord resident during our office hours prior to the meeting. We had some nice dialogue, some concerns we had referenced some zoning issues and some neighbor issues that we're going to help them out with. So that was nice to have some dialogue with him. I know we have all gotten some calls throughout the summer and recently regarding if a neighbor or resident has concerns with traffic situations or speeding vehicles, and I know we promised some residents that we'd have our speed trailer out there. Unfortunately, our speed trailer is not going to be replaced with the parts that are outdated, I believe. So the sheriff has helped us temporarily, but we are going to be purchasing, Concord will be purchasing a new speed trailer. We're in the process of having some dialogue with some vendors so we can get that out in the community as quick as possible. We know that's a great deterrent and helps out wherever needed. So we're going to work on that. And again, congratulations to Jeannie Rice. I mean, she's been a staple in Lake County for years. I've seen her. I've been in races that she runs, and I can't even keep up with her. I'm a Clydesdale, but it's like amazing. You see her go by you, and it's like, that's Jeannie Rice.
Yeah.
It's like, but she's just amazing. So that's all I have.
Well, thank you. Yeah, she certainly is a legend. So I was so happy that she was able to come here today and we can give her the proclamation.
great.
She's so humble and down to earth.
Yes.
But we're so lucky to have all these wonderful people in Concord Township. I also want to thank zoning department for helping with the open house yesterday. It was really kind of interesting to see all the different viewpoints, all the different green stickers and red stickers. And, I was talking to Katie from MS, the consulting firm, and I said, well, what do you think after some of the meetings you've had and seeing this, what do you think is sort of the most important thing that is for Concord in terms of what people want now and want in the future? And she said, well, what really kind of stands out is the most important thing for people is their home. Their home, having the ability to speak to how that's going to look in 20 years, because their home is the most important thing, obviously, for most of us. And you know, it's great that all these people think that that's important. And she could see the excitement and enthusiasm in our community and thinks that we have such a great location and such a great opportunity to make things better, and we certainly appreciate the help from our community and their input. And just, you know, even if you're not on the steering committee, you still can be part of a focus group. You can talk to members of the steering committee, you can talk to the zoning department and give us input into what you would like to see. So I did want to point that out.
Fill out the survey.
Fill out the survey. Thank you.
Right.
Yes, fill out the survey. And then also, is someone mentioned the ODOT survey? Is that still available about expanding 90? Because there were some questions about noise barriers, and I thought that was still available.
I believe that's still available, and there is a virtual meeting that ODOT, it's an informational meeting that they're going to be hosting to talk about the I-90 improvements. That meeting, I believe, is next month, but we'll put that link on our website.
Okay, perfect.
So folks can.
Wonderful, thank you. And then last, I would just like to congratulate Mr. McIntosh for your next milestone achievement in aviation. So,
Well done.
congratulations.
A lot of work went into that.
Yeah, we're so proud of you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
All right, moving on to department reports. Well, Mr. Rose.
Thank you, Mrs. Lucci, members of the board, Mr. Patriarca, members of the audience, good evening. I'll start with some items on the agenda this evening. Item B is Resolution 2025 TAC 20, which is a resolution that repeals Resolution 2023 TAC 20, which outlined EV charging station regulations. The EV charging station regulations have been incorporated into our zoning resolution, and they're all captured there. So we're going to avoid any conflicts, because the latest EV charging regulations are in the zoning resolution, we need to eliminate the old regulations. Item C is a vote to renew, update the dispatch contract with the Lake County Sheriff's Office for fire dispatch services. This is a 5-year contract. If you remember, last year we did a 1-year contract while they work things out with the Next Gen 911 and those things. So this is a 5-year contract. It's a 5% increase the first 3 years. Year 4 is 4.5%. Year 5 is 4%. We found those terms to be very good, and we get great service from Lake County's dispatch. Item D is a vote to approve an easement agreement between the township and Quill Developers for a storm sewer that runs across the township's right-of-way. Quail Developers will be responsible for the maintenance of the storm sewer infrastructure. This agreement has been reviewed by our legal counsel. It has already been approved by Quail Developers, and then once it's passed and signed, it will then be recorded, so that 25 years from now, somebody can look back and see exactly what we did, and there will be no confusion. So I encourage passage on those 4 items. Moving on to other things, as mentioned, thank you for the kind words on the property tax presentation. That presentation, you can get to that through our website and our YouTube channel, so I encourage folks to watch the video. Yesterday I checked, I didn't look today, but yesterday when I checked, there were over 100 views, so I'm pleased that people are watching it. And if anybody has any questions, please give me a call. The pickleball and tennis courts, the dual courts for pickleball and tennis at the park, Concord Hills Park, will be fully open starting tomorrow afternoon. We do have the pickleball nets there. The courts are available, but the service department is going to be finishing off cleaning up the path tomorrow morning, and they will be completely out of everybody's way by tomorrow afternoon. I think the courts look fantastic. They did a great job coordinating that. Sean and Tim were out there inspecting everything today, and everything looks really good. On the economic development front, since Mr. McIntosh talked about at the JED meeting on Friday, but since then, the JED administrator and I received updates yesterday afternoon. that two of the companies that we have been working with, talking to, desiring to relocate to Concord Township have now both entered into land contracts back in the Discovery Capital area. So those are being worked. They're in their due diligence period, so it'll be a little bit. But we're very excited, and companies are excited to come to Concord Township. So we've started discussions with both companies regarding their next steps. So we're very encouraged by that. And I thought the comprehensive plan open house was a great success. Talked to a lot of folks. It was great. And then finally, tomorrow, 9 a.m. is coffee with the administrator at the community center. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rose. Moving on to the audience portion, seeing there is none, we will move to old business. Seeing there is none, we will move to new business.
Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve the August financial report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair, move to make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-20, is that in there twice?
Repeal.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we did double. That's my fault.
I'm going to start over.
It was a very busy week. I apologize.
I move to approve Resolution 2025-20, repealing Resolution 2023-20 as a result of the amendment to the Concord Township zoning resolution codifying requirements and regulations for electric vehicle charging stations.
I will second that motion.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye. Madam Chair, I will make a motion to approve the dispatch contract with the Lake County Sheriff's Office.
Second.
Any discussion? As you said, prices keep going up.
Okay, keep
I
going
mean,
up.
Yeah.
it's a good rate, but it's a perfect
Yeah,
example.
it's a good rate. It's fair, but
Right, it's still
costs-
5%,
Operating costs are operating costs.
right?
I think those are reasonable.
Yeah.
They're very
Sure.
reasonable.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move to execute stormwater easement or storm sewer easement agreement with Quell Developers Incorporated for storm sewer and appurtenances within the township's right of way on Hunting Lake Drive.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Patriarca, will you please read the future meetings and announcements?
Absolutely. September 29th, 3 p.m. staff meeting at Town Hall. October 1st from 5 to 6 p.m. trustee office hours here at Town Hall. Immediately followed by trustee meeting at 6 p.m. here at Town Hall.
Thank you. And that concludes our meeting for this evening.
Have a good evening.
Dude,